you hide in your closet.
He knows that.
Have fun tonight, okay?
Every neighborhood has a house with a secret. Awesome kind.
There's something going on in that house. This is why nobody will sit next to us at lunch. You'll see, no ghosts. Counter, come back, please. Counter, I'm serious.
From executive producers Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg.
Oh no.
When no one will listen.
Don't go any further.
Are you guys mentally challenged? If you are, I'm certified to teach you baseball.
When no one believes.
The house grabs things and pulls them in and eats them.
We'll see you later. It's up to them to save the neighborhood.
We have to fight back. Whoa. I don't want to go inside a monster.
I say it's worth a shot.
Yes, I agree. Let's do it.
Get ready to cross over
What are you weirdos up to?
Oh, nothing.
to the other side of the street.
There's something in the house just trying to eat us.
No more Mountain Dew.
Don't make a sound.
If those are the teeth and that's the tongue, then that must be the uvula.
Oh, so it's a girl house.
What?
Don't make a move.
Freeze.
Treat. And whatever you do, don't go on the lawn.
Don't look back. I look back.
Monster House. Stupid house. Directed by Gil Cannon.
Monster House is an animated horror comedy movie that was released on July 21st, 2006. This is my first fully animated movie that I'm reviewing. I actually remember this one fairly well, but is it good? Let's find out. Starting, of course, with the story. The story follows DJ, who is a teenager who, while his parents are on a trip, notices a strange-looking house, but when his friend and Chowder go to it, an old man who lives in that house orders them to, he says, like, get the fuck off my lawn, but collapses and is sent to the hospital. At night, DJ and Chowder try to go to the house again, only to discover the house turns into a monster that starts gobbling people, animals, and just about everything that comes on the lawn. I have to say, this is a good story. It is by no means a great story, but it is kind of imaginative. DJ is pretty fucking good as a character, and I can particularly relate to him because he is sick and fucking tired of being treated like a kid. I'm referring to the part where when he's like, "I'm practically an adult." If any of you've seen it, remember that. Some of the other characters are hit and miss. There are some that are supportive, like Jenny, which is the girl teenager that comes later, and Chowder, and even that fucking video game guy, which I will come back to later. But then there are those who are too bitter to even give a shit about what's going on, like the babysitter and her boyfriend. Although the babysitter listens to heavy metal, which is kind of cool, but it's not really enough for me to like her. Besides, she's not in it that much. The boyfriend is even less likable. Not to mention, he's not in it even as much as the babysitter, and he's frankly a total prick. But okay, one thing I did like about the story is that it is scary. and not just because of the fucking house, but also because of the backstory that is given to it. The old man the old man, which makes it even more terrifying, to be honest. And the fact that, yeah, of what goes on in that story. This sort of goes along on with what I've been saying, but I did like how this movie was not afraid to go dark with the concept. I think it really wasn't, even with its moments of humor. Speaking of which, I will say the writing is also hit or miss. There are not any quotes that are gonna go down in history like fucking Rosebud, but for the most part, they do fit with the situation. I I guess I do like the quote I kissed a girl, although it's not a fucking genius quote. I will say some of the jokes are actually pretty funny. There were there were some jokes there were some jokes that really only adults would understand that were actually well made. You probably saw one of them in the trailer I put in. Sure, some of it was immature, like the part where and Chowder, DJ or Chowder, I don't fucking remember, but but one but one of them was pissing in a Mountain Dew bottle, which is fucking gross and honestly should not have been in the movie. I'm not and I'm not just saying this shit because I found it gross, but also because I felt it didn't really add anything to the movie. But I think that's the only joke that's like that. Alright, now the scene where the teens go to the restaurant, where they're. Now, there's a scene, it's a good scene, where the teens go to this restaurant and where there's this guy who plays violent video games and gives the kids advice of what to do against a monster. I mean, it's a great scene. I guess one of the things that makes it so clever is that the only person who would know what to do in a situation like that is a guy who plays video games where you kill monsters. What would you do? Fight back. Simple as that. That. Yeah. Now for the production values. The animation is actually pretty good, and I'm not even that big a fan of CGI. I guess I one of the things I like about it is the fact that it's done with motion capture, but it actually kind of feels like stop motion. It gives the movie its own identity and its own style. I say it is done with motion capture because, well, I saw behind the scenes footage, and one of the companies that made it was 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 a is a company called Image Movers, which is a company that makes all their movies with motion capture. All right, now as for the other production values, the sound is nice, but the music is kind of forgettable. And really, that's all I can think of on that merit, at least. Overall, Monster House is a decent movie. It has it has a creative story, decent writing, surprisingly good animation, and it and has a kind of scary and dark atmosphere. The downsides are the characters are hit and miss, some of the dialogue is immature, and the music is kind of forgettable. But this is one hell of a Halloween romp and one hell of a motion capture experience that is worth seeing. I give Monster House 3 out of 5 stars, with the title of Worth Watching. I'm Spike Robot. Thank you all for watching, and Take it easy.